Hello, viewers. Welcome to Think Right, Live Right. I am Gabrielle Anadwaka. There is a saying that the secret of great men lies in their stories. Today, I'm going to introduce you to Excel Ogugbue, who has written a very inspiring story. On Think Right, Live Right, we hope to uncover these secrets by focusing on sharing true life stories, and we hope that you will enjoy and learn from the stories that we bring to you. Welcome, Excel.
Thank you, Gabi. I am Excel Ogugbue, and I publish my dramatic life story as an example of how to beat the odds and live your dreams in a book I titled Doing Better Than Your Best. This book was published February 14th, 2014.
I couldn't help but notice that your book was published on Valentines Day. Any special reason for that?
I would say that the book is my Valentine's gift to anyone that will get to read that book someday.
This is a very interesting read, I must say. What actually inspired you to write this book?
My inspiration for writing this book is really pure determination. Doing Better Than Your Best is a unique story that illustrates the fact that your success is not determined by what you have, but by what you do with what you have.
I noticed that you emphasized a lot on your mother's teachings. Would you say that she inspired you to keep moving?
Yes, I would say that. I recall the meeting that we held in our single room home. In that meeting, she told us about her dream, a grand dream to make sure that every one of us graduated from college. How she was going to do that, we had no idea. But she did promise us that if we all stay the course, live within our means, and do our best in our educational pursuits, that we will come out better. So I believe she kind of infected me with her passion for education, and that kind of always helped me to be determined to do well in whatever I'm doing.
What made you believe it was possible to make it, and why do you think some children fail to listen to their parents' teachings?
Yep, my mom was really real to us, and I believed her because I knew she meant well for me and my siblings. So that was one message that she really preached, and another thing that really helped me was a couple of books that I read growing up. I wanted to end up like Ben Carson, who wrote the book Gifted Hands, or Eze in the book Eze Goes to School. So these were people who started off in difficult circumstances but believed in a future that could be better.
Speaking of what the future unfolds, you shared some interesting stories about letting the end determine the means. Can you shed more light on that?
Letting the end determine the means to choose the outcome you want out of a situation, and then committing to doing whatever it will take to make it happen. To me, plan A was to graduate from college with excellent grades, get a job in the oil and gas industry, and then see what the future holds for me. And so I found out what was required to achieve this, and I did something each day that drove me towards my goal. So be it studying for my exams, be it raising money to pay my school fees. To raise money, I had to do a lot. There was a time I had to sell boiled eggs at the motor park. There were some times I had to teach in private schools during vacations. Some other times I worked in a factory, all in a bid to raise money that will help me buy the supplies I need for school and also to support my family.
I think we can all agree that sometimes as humans we tend to do things the same way over and over again, and then we wonder why they don't turn out the way we want them to. You gave an example in your book about how you didn't perform well in your JSSCE exams and what you did to change that. Can you tell us how you did that?
For my junior WAEC exam, one thing I discovered was when I kind of thought through what really happened was that I found out that I didn't have enough materials when I was preparing for the exam. I relied so much on my class notes. So that was, you don't be a local champion in an exam that requires national coverage. So I kind of identify the issues or whatever, the issues that caused me to have a poor grade in my junior WAEC or middle school exam, because I ended up getting 3 credits and 7 passes. And with that kind of result, you cannot get admission into the university if you should have the same result in your senior WAEC. So I kind of thought through it, identified where I went wrong, the things that I did not do right, and one of them, like I mentioned earlier, was really not having enough materials. So one of the things that caused me not to have enough materials was not having enough money to purchase the materials. So I had to do extra work, source for money, and request gifts as textbooks, like my birthday gift, Christmas gift. I will request from my mom or anybody that wants to give me a gift to give me so and so the particular book that I needed. So I got all these materials and I really made use of those books. I read them as I did all that was required of me.
One point that really interested me reading your book and would interest other students that read your book as well is that you pointed that there's a difference between a good student and a smart student. What is that difference?
Oh, that's a good question. One thing that I can use to differentiate a good student from a smart student is that good students prepare for exams, while smart students rehearse for exams. So I'll put this to every student. When it comes to exams, you need to rehearse for exams, not prepare for exams. I remember when I took Fluke Flow in porous media and at University of Oklahoma during my PhD program at the University of Oklahoma, the review I did with a friend of mine really helped. We solved most of the problems that was in the recommended textbook for that course. And the funny thing that happened was that when we got to the exam hall, the three out of the 4 questions that came out in the exam were exactly those questions that we have solved from the textbook. So it was as if we have already rehearsed, we have solved this problem. So in the exam hall, both of us were smiling, and you could guess what our grades were. So that's the thing. Like, a lot of people end up just studying and studying and studying. They put in all the hours, but they don't really connect questions to what they have studied. So when they get to the exam hall, now they are reading the questions and trying to connect the information that they have studied with the answers that they need to give, and that's where the problem comes.
So you were a Petrol Volt champion for 2 consecutive years. That is amazing. For those of us that don't know what the Petrol Volt is, can you give a brief explanation as to what it is and also tell us what it taught you? So
Petrol Volt is a competition among all the petroleum engineering universities worldwide. So it's an annual event that happens at the Society of Petroleum Engineers annual technical conference. So I represented University of Oklahoma. It was a team of 4 people, and in 2007 and 2008, so both years we were crowned champions. So it was a very exciting experience. But one thing really that experience taught me was that fear can stop you from going where you could have won. I say this because back in 2003 in Nigeria, I was nominated to represent my school, Federal University of Technology, Owerri then, in a similar competition. But I allowed an incident that has occurred in the past where I represented my school and I didn't do so well to build up fear in me and made me to choose not to represent my school. Then later on, while I was sitting with the audience, I found out that almost all the questions that were being asked, I could answer them even before the judges could finish the questions. So I felt miserable. So when the time came for another opportunity for me to represent my school, I went for it. So really, fear can stop you from going where you could have won, and I did not allow fear to stop me the second time.
You have an award for the best students in each level at Winners Campus Fellowship Futsal. What inspired you to launch this award?
I have a passion to inspire people to be their best possible. So I saw the award, giving out those awards to the best male and female student in each level in the campus fellowship as a way to inspire them to try to be their best. So, and the last time I went to Futo, I had an academic seminar with the campus fellowship, and a lot of some of the people that have gotten those awards came out and gave testimonies on how the award have really helped them and inspired them to remain at the top. This award has been in place since 2005 when I began my master's program at the University of Alaska. So I've continued to give the award. I think there was an experience I had, I believe it was my final in 2009 when I received a call from Winners Campus Fellowship in Futo that it was time again for them to give out the award. And this time around, I was working. I chose to stay on campus and finish my research work. So I didn't have a job that summer. My supervisor was not sponsoring me. So I was just spending, paying my rent, paying all my bills with no income coming in. So it's as if I've exhausted all my income when I got this call. So the temptation was there that year to cancel the award for that year since I didn't have the money to fund it. But I also knew that it would be the wrong thing to do because a lot of people have worked towards winning this award. For you to now cancel it, it would have affected some people. So for me to do the award that year, I had to empty my account. So withdraw almost everything I had in my account to send to them for the award. And that was exactly what I did. I went to the bank, emptied my account. On my way to go send the money, a miracle happened. I called home to speak with the president of the campus fellowship. I wanted to find out from him the name of the person that should use to send the money to them. That was then when he informed me that the school has not been in session and that they had to close the school last week because of ASU strike. So this has to be the staffs in the university went on strike, so they are no longer holding the program. The program is now on hold until ASU calls off their strike. So that kind of bought me some time, and at that point I felt this ease, as if I have passed a test. It reminded me of the story in the Bible, like the story of Abraham sacrificing his only son Isaac. I felt that I almost sacrificed all I had for a good cause. And it was during that same period while I was trying to complete my dissertation work that I was having several challenges on trying to figure out what to do with the data I had, that this happened. And that was the same week when I woke up and everything became clear to me. It's like I now knew what to do with the data I have been looking at all these days without knowing what to do with them. And I knew I had a solution and my dissertation was done.
In the chapter on exceeding expectations, you talked about how you exceeded expectations at work. What other aspects of life could one apply these to?
One statement that really stands out in that chapter has to do with as we go about our daily routines in our workplaces, one needs to be an employee that his or her employer cannot afford to lose. And the way to do this is to create and maintain a track record of high performance. So I'll give an example of something that happened while I worked as an office assistant at University of Alaska. So my supervisor gave me the exit survey for the students at the end of that year. So, and she also showed me the spreadsheet where to enter the information into. So after entering those information, I saw the reports that was done for the previous years, and without being requested to do so, I went ahead to analyze the data and presented them in beautiful pie chart, histograms, and created the results for the report for that year and submitted to her. So she was really impressed by that extra effort that I did to do all those works even without being requested, and she nominated me that month as the employee of the month. I really hope that we all, boys and girls, men and women, old and young, can commit to doing better than our best in every aspect of our life to help make the world a better place. This is my dream, and I'm counting on your support to help make this dream a reality by consistently doing better than your best.
Well, this concludes our session of Think Right, Live Right with Excel Ogugbue. Follow Excel on Facebook by liking his Facebook page, facebook.com/dbtbooks, for special daily nuggets. Thank you very much for tuning in to Think Right, Live Right, and I hope you enjoyed the program. Have a great day.